Time in Toronto where the Argonauts are out in front of the BC Lions in the first semifinal by a score of 13-7. Nice and warm under the dome. It's cold here in Winnipeg, -9 on a clear, bright afternoon. The winds have moved to the west. The good news is it's going to be very cold tonight for this game, but the good news is they now say -8. The good news is the field is in absolutely magnificent condition. Should be no problem for receivers to make their cuts and the runners later on this evening here in Winnipeg. And if you were just joining us with Sean Millington, Greg Frères, and special guest Danny McManus, good afternoon from Winnipeg. I'm Brian Williams. This is CFL Semifinal Sunday. Sean Millington, a former Lion, said the Lions have received every break. And Danny Mac, here's the first one. It's the fake field goal. You've got the telestrator. Tell us what happened.
Well, I think the best part is we heard from Pinball is that the one thing he wanted to do was to manufacture some plays. But what he told Brenda is he talked to the officials about this. And you can see right here, the play clock is in. So it's going down. So the play has been whistled in. So this is a legitimate touchdown. But what Jake Ireland did was he stood up and said, hey, I missed the call. And he went over to Pinball and told him exactly that. So that's one that's the whole human element of the game, is that the official made a mistake and he stood up to it.
We met with Pinball on Friday. He said you'd see not only fake field goals but some fake punts today by the Argonauts.
They're doing it straight like a National League team as far as Major League Baseball. They're going to try and manufacture points any way they can. If this is one way, look for something later on or something from their defense, something to happen for them to generate some more points.
We talked about breaks for the BC Lions. Greg, how about that interception by Bonner? I mean, Argos lead the league with 27 or 26 picks in the regular season. Yeah. Here's a weird one, though, that is fumbled right after.
Yeah, and Toronto's done a good job jumping onto Spurgeon and being able to key on his throws. They did lead this league with 26 interceptions. Unfortunate for Bonner, made a nice break on the ball, and then he wasn't touched. And he's got to understand that if he's not touched, it's still a live ball. Claremont made a nice play on the ball, be able to be a heads-up play. But as a young quarterback, I always loved it as a defensive back because they usually key on their receivers, and what's going to happen is the Toronto defense is going to be able to cheat a little bit, be able to jump routes, and you saw that with Fletcher early. Bonner, another interception later on in the game. So
that fumble led to the touchdown. Spurgeon win with a beautiful pass to Frank Catolo.
Well, this was a very gutsy play, a very gutsy move by Spurgeon, in my opinion, because he's just been picked off. But instead of going for the safe pass, dropping off a little underneath routes, he goes downfield to Frank Catolo. And this is a great catch by Frank because he's got two defenders crossing right in front of him. The ball is coming down. He's probably had an obstructive view to the ball at that point, and it's great focus and concentration by him to come down with the ball and make the play.
The BC Lions in the two regular season games led Toronto in first quarter scoring 24-0. Pinball was afraid that BC would jump out to a big lead. That did not happen. And you talk about momentum. Here's the play, Danny. We saw it swing near the end of that first half.
This is exactly what Pinball wants. He wants the game to be close. And right now, look at Damon Allen has plenty of time, gets the pass off tonight, and he knows what to do with it. He finds the end zone and gets in there. This is exactly how Pinball has played out this whole scenario for his team all week, and they're in the right spot at the right time.
Are you guys surprised we haven't seen more of A, Michael Jenkins for Toronto, and B, Calvin Anderson for British Columbia? Sean?
Well, I would certainly have expected to see more of Calvin Anderson. I mean, you've got your first-string quarterback goes down, your second-string quarterback goes down. Why are we not seeing Calvin Anderson running the ball, giving their quarterback some time to adjust and get a new game plan going?
I'm surprised that we're not seeing more Jenkins. He was being so successful in the first quarter, running the ball with authority, breaking tackles. They got behind, and so they had to be able to go downfield, pass attack. But now that they have the lead, like I said, they're probably going to go back to Jenkins.
Danny, you're a veteran quarterback. If you're in the locker room right now, what do you tell Spurgeon Wynn? I mean, he comes in place of a legend, Dickinson. He gets the hip pointer. He's got the touchdown pass. What advice do you give him now?
Well, the biggest thing, hey, you're still in the ballgame. You're only down by 6 points. Go out there and let's get back to the game plan. Yeah, we had some bumps in the road because of the injuries, and he missed a series or two. But the biggest thing is our game plan is set for a full 60 minutes, not just for 30. Let's get back into it, use all of our weapons, and just get some points.
Well, Wally Bono and the BC Lions still very much in it at halftime in Toronto, where the Argonauts lead the BC Lions. Coming up later today from here in Winnipeg, it's Saskatchewan and the Blue Bombers. The CFL on CBC continues right after this.
At some point, every truck company has to ask themselves, do we want the bed to stay on the truck or not? 6 induction hardened carriage bolts mounted on the hydroform laddered frame of the new F-150 say yes. What does your truck say?
Their anniversary was coming up, and while he had booked them a 3-day getaway, she had picked him up a few things to take with. 3 shirts, some slacks, a sweater. All priced in such a way as to leave her a little left over. After all, this anniversary would be their 3rd. And the 3rd did mean leather. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's.
Imagine one day you realized everyone was imitating you, mimicking your every move, trying to be just like you. Now you know what it must feel like to be the Accord from Honda. Often imitated, never equaled.
The flavor can't escape until you let it. The new resealable Tetley Specialty Tea Canister.
Don't spend your winter in the banks. Take control with winter slalom tires from BF Goodrich. Get right into it and out. Take control with light truck tires from BF Goodrich.
What's the party for? We just finished our Active Directory rollout. We created a single AD forest and consolidated 70 domains to 4. With group policy, new Salesforce apps deploy in a day instead of weeks. It's gonna save us over $2 million a year.
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
And slide.
And on this Sunday afternoon, halftime at Skydome in Toronto, the Argonauts on that late touchdown by Lal Knight with a 13-7 lead over the crossover team, the BC Lions. Now, it's cold here in Winnipeg. That's Nealon Green, the Saskatchewan quarterback. It's been a bright sunny day. It's -8. They're expecting -10, -11 by kickoff in about 90 minutes from now. The winds are out of the west. The field is in absolutely great condition here at Canadian Stadium in Winnipeg. Coming up later this afternoon, the Blue Bombers and the Saskatchewan Roughriders will take a break. And when we return, Mark Lee and Darren Flutie with the second half from Toronto. There's Frank Catolo, strong candidate for Rookie of the Year with a touchdown for the BC Lions.
People everywhere are discovering a new way to protect their homes and families, all thanks to a new security system called SafeWatch EZ, only from ADT. Now you can arm your system with just the turn of a key. And with no codes to enter, SafeWatch EZ virtually eliminates accidentally setting off your alarm. Get SafeWatch EZ at a price you can afford. Call now. ADT, always there.
In my dream, I'm on a game show.
Welcome back to On Demand, where it's time for round 2. And the question is, the efficiency of 342 cases of green Argyle socks. Correct. Your customers...
2,000 SKUs.
You don't know the answers?
It's like they know what's coming.
Where? Maple Avenue.
What does it mean?
You're playing catch up because you're not responsive. You need your answers faster.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt, but I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
Dandruff making you lose your head? New Garnier Fructis Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. a new force in dandruff control. It's proven. Helps eliminate dandruff flakes after the first wash. New Garnier Fructis Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Garnier.
The skating extravaganza of the year is back with a brand new special. HSBC Stars on Ice. Monday at 8 on CBC.
The CFL on CBC, brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. And by Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Argo faithful, buoyant with their team up by 6 as we get set for the third quarter. And here's Brenda with Wally Buono.
Well, Wally, that was a huge touchdown pass by Spurgeon. What did that do for his confidence, and maybe more importantly for the team's confidence in him?
Well, obviously that was a big play, and that's what we need in the second half. It's a very tight game. We expected it to be that way, and like I said, we got to make one more play than they do.
What's the single biggest adjustment you'd like your team to make in the second half?
Well, the biggest probably thing is our protection. We got to make sure we give Spurgeon just a little bit more time. If we could do that, he'll move the football.
How's he feeling?
Well, he's feeling good.
Good luck.
Spurgeon Wynn has only missed on 3 of his 8 passes. Good on 5 of 8, but 2 of those misses were interceptions by Antonius Bonner. One of them led directly to the touchdown that put the Argos in front. He's trying to get through the effects of a hip pointer. You can see he's still in some difficulty here despite the freezing he received during the first half.
Yeah, eventually after you get one of those freezing of a joint of a hip or a shoulder, it's going to wear off after a little bit.
And we're underway here in the second half. It's Levingston at his own 18-yard line up the near sideline. There's nowhere to go. Backtracking, still on his feet. He steps out of bounds. And the return is blown dead as we check the first half stats in this East semifinal. And the Argos leading in most categories.
Well, look at that passing stat with the Argos, 139. I mean, that's a lot of yards. Damon hasn't thrown for that much.
Well, last week alone he had 149 in the entire game, so that's good production in one half of football. He struggled this year, averaging a 177 in his last 11 games.
And with those receivers out, with Mitchell and Jackson out, you would think that the Argos weren't going to be able to throw the ball as well. And yet that's been the best part of their game today.
Shadwick Chris was offside on the kickoff, and so we're going to do it all over again here at Skydome. But Damon Allen has ignited his offense in the late stages of that first half. You mentioned without Alfred Jackson and Daryl Mitchell, he went back to Lal Knight, who dropped the sure touchdown in the first quarter, and Lal Knight grabbed the second and put his team in front. Heads kickoff again to Levingston at the 25. It's the same return straight up the sideline, breaks a tackle, cuts inside, and is caught from behind. Ron Ockamy makes the tackle, and there's some pushing and shoving after the play, and a flag down. But Levingston was one more tackle from breaking free, a 36-yard return on a 56-yard kickoff.
Yeah, Shad Chris being offside, you don't want to give these returners, especially Levingston, a second chance to make a big play. I mean, if that stayed, it's great field position.
Toronto number 2, first down.
Mike Fletcher and the illegal block will bring the ball back to the Argo 45-yard line.
Still good field position for the Argos.
As we look at Damon Allen's passing chart, 10 of 17 for 139 and a touchdown, and just one deep ball completed. But he spread the ball around in all parts of the field and has looked at his best in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of that first half. Pitch out right side, Michael Jenkins cutting upfield, breaks a tackle and gets into the secondary. Washington making the tackle on a 6-yard gain.
Well, Greg Freres touched it on at halftime. Now that the Argos have the lead, you see him go back to the running game because Jenkins ran the ball really well in the first quarter. And now they're going to go back to it now and run it well early in the third quarter, then maybe a little play action.
Here's a look at the Argos first half offensive possessions. In the first 5, they came away with a field goal, then field goal touchdown quickly, and 10 points to take the lead. 2nd down and 4. Allen throwing, complete to Michael Palmer. He drops the ball. It's still loose, and there's a scrum for it. The Lions are saying they've got it, and it is BC football. So an Argo turnover on the first offensive series of this second half. Carl Kidd recovering the Palmer fumble.
Yeah, it's a nice, and Carl Kidd actually goes and jumps the flat route so they complete the ball. This is that Michael gets hit, and he hustles all the way back from that flat route to get back into the play and recover a fumble. That's just pure hustle by Carl Kidd.
Simpson forcing the fumble. He has 3 fumble recoveries this year to lead the Lions. And so BC will take over on offense at their 45. Spurgeon Wynn still at the helm, handing off to Kelvin Anderson. Anderson dragging a couple of Argo defenders for a few extra yards and what looks like a first down. Spurgeon Wynn's passing chart looks like this.
Yeah, 5 of 8. The only thing really hurting him there are those 2 interceptions. He got lucky on one of them. And of course, he has that 64-yard touchdown, but lucky on one of those interceptions that Bonner fumbled it and gave it right back to him.
Hey, lucky that Fletcher dropped that one sure interception, and he was gone to the end zone had he held on that flat pass inside the 35 of BC. 2nd and less than a yard. BC. Anderson. He'll have the first down. Fletcher stands him up, and the Argos drive him back across the line of scrimmage.
Here we go, Bruce.
Kelvin Anderson, who had 9 carries for 46 yards, or rather 7 carries for 31 yards in the first half.
Yeah, 13-7 with the Argos winning. There's no time for either team to give up on their running game. And I think we've seen early in the 3rd that they haven't given up on it. Jenkins carried the ball once, and we see Anderson getting the football a little bit for the BC Lions.
First down Lions at the Toronto 52. Wynn trying to draw the Argos offside with the staggered count. He'll pass. It's complete to Chris Brazel. He breaks the tackle on Clifford Ivory and a 7-yard gain. This man has a big arm, and Wally Buono would like to see him use it.
The longer we feel we have time to throw, the more we're going to hopefully expose, their pass defense. They do play zone, and they do pressure you in zone, and if you can pick it up, it does cause, I think, a lot of problems.
Yes, this Argo defense is a bend-not-break defense. They'll let you put a series together and see if you can get 10 or 11 and get to the end zone. There's another completion. Paris Jackson, the rookie, underneath Clifford Ivory for a first down.
Well, that's what the Argos do. They play a lot of deep coverages and keep the ball in front of them. But if Spurgeon Wynn can take advantage of it and hit these short passes, eventually one of these guys are going to get aggressive and try to jump that route, and that's when Spurgeon can go deep.
Paris Jackson coming into a starting role with the injury to Ryan Thelwell. 6 catches on the season coming in for 85 yards. A big target at 6'3". On the ground, Kelvin Anderson turns the corner, and he's hit from behind. Mike O'Shea, who is turning in a yeoman's effort here again today, in on the tackle. The number 2 leading tackler in the CFL with 90 on the season.
Yeah, there's Mike right there. So watch him run down the play from the backside. And Mike was another one of those guys yesterday that didn't want to talk about injuries, didn't want to talk anything about this football game except for this football game.
See him straight arm Freddie Moore take on the block and still make the tackle. 2nd and 8. Here comes the blitz. Wynn under pressure, flips it out. Geroy Simon takes the pitch, but he won't be anywhere near a first down. And that will be his first catch, a little shovel of the day. So their leading receiver, Geroy Simon, has been ineffective through the air.
Again, the Argos in a nickel situation, which means they have the extra defensive back in Kevin Ivan. Bring him off the edge, and they get pressure on Spurgeon Wynn so he can't go through his regular reads and throw the football. He has to improvise and try to make a play.
Curtis Head will attempt this field goal from the 42, his longest 54. Printers with the pin, head down and wide. Livingston out of the end zone. Oh, a big block by O'Shea on Lockbaum. Livingston at full tilt now. Just the kicker to beat him, and he might be gone. Printers can't reach him, slows him down. He'll stay in bounds. No! Casey Printers gets a piece of him, and he steps out of touch. Livingston thinks he's got a return. The Argos are upset with the call, but big Mike O'Shea with a big block.
Jared? What are you doing here?
I don't know. Just always wanted to try this place.
There are 2 million possible combinations of delicious ways to feel good about eating at Subway. But we can't please everybody all the time. Maybe we could if they tried our delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki, made fresh with under 6 grams of fat. Subway. Eat fresh.
Catch the action November 16th.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi, right? Yeah! Well, now I got a Hemi, too! But I got something you don't got. Check this out.
The Dodge Ram 1500. The Hemi legend continues. Grab Dodge's best powertrain warranty ever. And now get 0% financing only at your Chrysler Jeep Dodge retailer.
Real fruit gummy candy. Taste just this side of fruit. Real fruit gummy candy. Taste just this side of fruit.
Bashar Livingston wants to see this replay for himself. A 79-yard return on a missed field goal, and he just steps out of bounds.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen at some point, and here it is right there. There's Mike O'Shea, and watch this block on Kelly Lockbaum, the spring Livingston. Boom! And you knew it. It's a big play waiting to happen, Livingston. And just barely steps out of bounds at the end of this return.
Printers comes from behind the play to make an excellent shot at Livingston and just get him out of bounds, or he was gone. Let's take another look at the tail end of that 79-yard missed field goal return. Livingston, just a piece, one hand on the sleeve by Printers, and Livingston can't keep his balance from going out of bounds.
Your backup quarterback is out there trying to cover field goals. Well, I guess he's holding, so he's got no choice.
Argos with a big chance, though, on 2nd and 5. And it's batted down. So a field goal situation for Toronto. Noel Prefontaine already has 2.
On these quick 3-step passes, what you always tell the offensive linemen is, listen, just get their hands down. Do what it takes to get their hands down, because it's such a quick play happening over the middle.
Terminator with the meat hooks in the air there to knock it down. And so a 39-yard attempt for Prefontaine from the right hash. Ivan to hold. The ball is up and wide right. Prefontaine, field goal, wide right and into touch for a single. So the Argos will move ahead by a converted touchdown here in the 3rd.
Don't talk during the game. Text messaging with Rogers AT&T Wireless, official sponsor of the CFL. Imagine.
Jim Wilkes, is that you?
Carla.
Yeah, that doesn't work. You need the Wind River No Sweat waterproof jacket. Yeah. And while we're at it.
I'm so sorry. Jim? Jim Wilkes?
Well, at least the clothes work.
Save $50 for a limited time.
What makes Standard Life different is that no matter what I do for you,
I really stand by what I say. I really believe in what I'm doing.
So whether you need a financial or an insurance product,
you will know what to expect.
Because having standards, not just talking about them, but living by them.
That's us.
I give you my word. We give you our word.
Keeping our word is Standard. Standard Life. Investments and insurance for groups and individuals.
Dave Dickinson, the West nominee for Most Outstanding Player, a bystander today because of an injured knee. In his place, Spurgeon Wynn at the controls, and reminding you now to check us out online and tell us who you think played tough today. Who's your warrior of the game? Wynn, O'Shea, big block on lock bomb. He's been all over the field on defense. Antonius Bonner with 2 picks today. So a few candidates to consider at the end of the third quarter for warrior of the game. Spurgeon Wynn on the ground, handing off to Kelvin Anderson, and there's nowhere to go there. Stopped right on the line of scrimmage. Eric England limiting that gain to 1.
Yeah, not to beat it to death, but I think what the Argos really want to say to the BC Lions is, listen, we're going to stop the run. We're going to stop Kelvin Anderson and let Spurgeon Wynn try to beat us throwing the football.
England heading to the bench. He's playing with a turf toe. It's been injected with painkillers, but this is his 30th game of pro football. He played in the Arena League before coming up here. Back to pass, Spurgeon Wynn, lots of time. Now some pressure. He steps away. Wynn to run. Oh, and he's hit hard. Michael Fletcher, one of the toughest hitters on this Toronto defense, makes contact there. He's wearing his second helmet this year. He already wrecked the first one.
There's, again, Kevin Ivan coming off the edge, creating pressure, making Spurgeon step up and creating a situation where they don't pick up the first down. Again, on these nickel situations, they're blitzing him.
Watch where Fletcher makes the hit. Boom, right on the hip again. The injured hip of this quarterback. Curtis Head to punt. Argos with 2 lethal returners back, Livingston and Miles. Head angling that one and dangerously close to being blocked. He goes out of bounds at the Argo bench, but Clifford Ivory was right there. Argos with good field position on offense when we come back.
Dream, I'm on a game show.
Welcome back to On Demand, where it's time for round 2. And the question is, the efficiency of 342 cases of green Argyle socks. Correct. Your customers...
2,000 SKUs.
You don't know the answers?
It's like they know what's coming.
Where? Maple Avenue.
What does it mean?
You're playing catch-up because you're not responsive. You need your answers faster.
Go on the ground on first down to Michael Jenkins. And there have been good first down production right up the middle today on the ground for Toronto.
Yeah, anytime you pick up 5, 6, 7 yards, you get yourself in a position where you're 2nd and 5 or less. You're in a good situation for an offense because now you can either run the football or throw the football to pick up the first down.
2nd down and 4 for Damon Allen and the Argos. He'll go right back to Jenkins, fighting his way for what looks like a first down. Jenkins running hard between the tackles today, ignoring the pain of arthritis in his injured ankle.
Yeah, that's that great situation of 2nd and 4. You spread them out. Damon's in the shotgun. They're thinking pass, but you only got 4 yards, so you hand it off to Jenkins. He picks up 5. You get the first down.
More options on 2nd down when you get that good first down production. Allen in the shotgun, throwing deep down the near sideline. Lyle Knight's got it. Oh, a big catch and a huge first down. Lyle Knight, who made up for his drop with a big touchdown to end the first half, and a huge catch there.
Yeah, we're watching Tony Miles right there, but Lyle Knight on the left side, he's the third guy in the slot, beats Jason Bray on a corner route. And again, Damon Allen had time to throw the football, puts it right on the money, and he's making up for that drop touchdown in the first quarter.
Val Pinball Clemens said that the difference this time for Lyle Knight in this game is the endorsement he's getting from his coaches. For the first time, it's his game to play. He's not just in there until somebody else is ready to come back, an injured starter. Allen pumping, throwing to the end zone, and incomplete. A bullet out of the hands of Lyle Knight, who was screaming across the field at about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, the ball goes off his hands. It's a nice route, little corner move, then he comes back to the inside, wins on the route, and Damon really hums this high. It's a catchable football, but as a receiver, when you come across that middle, you'd love to have it low, so you can just go down on the ground, make the catch, and protect yourself. But he's open, he's running great routes, and that's a good sign for the Argos.
But that endorsement, when the coach says, "You're our man, we need you today," that goes a long way to boosting a guy's confidence.
Oh, sure it does. But look at the coach's point of view. They got no choice. They got Mitchell and Jackson out. They got to endorse him.
2nd and 10, the blitz, the ball's away. Complete to Jenkins at the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto! Oh, a big read on the hot route by Damon Allen.
Yeah. BC is bringing everyone. Damon reads it, and what you usually do is keep your running backs in to protect your quarterback, but smart move by the Argos. Don't keep Jenkins in. Let him go out for the route.
Oh, yeah, they fooled the Lions. That's Jenkins' first receiving touchdown of the year. The point after by Prefontaine is good. And the Argos open a 2-touchdown lead at home.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt, but I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
Dodge SX 2.0. The thrill of 132 horses under your foot.
Hi, I'm Rick Mercer. I didn't think it was fair that Montreal would get all the fun, so we've packed up the hottest comics from Just for Laughs, and we're bringing them to your hometown.
It's back, the Just for Laughs Comedy Tour, hosted by Rick Mercer and featuring the most hilarious stand-ups coming to Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Regina, Calgary, and Edmonton.
I'm very funny.
For details, visit hahaha.com. The Just for Laughs Comedy Tour.
Hey.
You will be amazed at how funny these guys are, and how short I am.
The Argos are cooking on offense and a 14-point lead on Jenkins' first receiving touchdown of the year.
Yeah, the BC Lions have 7 guys coming, and they have Jenkins, who has absolutely nobody on him back here because they have 6 receivers, and we'll just see how it develops. Hey, they're undermanned back there. Wide open, nice little move by Jenkins. That's a nice read by both Jenkins and Damon Allen to see that.
That's the risk a defense takes and the reward the offense gets when a veteran quarterback makes the read on the hot pass. Here come the Lions. Frank Coutolo racing up the hash mark. And he's dropped immediately. Mike Crum making the tackle on special teams for Toronto on a 21-yard kickoff return by Coutolo.
Well, you have 4 minutes, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. You got your backup quarterback in. You're down by 14. We're going to have to see what Spurgeon Wynn's made of now. He's going to have to throw the football a little bit. We'll see how he fares against this good Argo secondary.
Wally Buono was saying the game plan doesn't change with Spurgeon Wynn coming in. Familiar with the offense, taking first-string reps since Wednesday. Francatolo, complete, coming back across the wide side, looking for some blocks. Around behind, Paris Jackson still on his feet, and he takes the long route to what is very close to a first down. A gain of 9 on the play, and he ran about 65 to get there.
Yeah, you don't want to have to depend on this to pick up 8 or 9 yards every time, but it's a nice individual play by Francatolo to make something out of nothing.
It'll be second down. And about a yard to go as we check the quarterback comparison, and the veteran almost 2-to-1 in passing yards and touchdowns. Second down, Anderson, straight arm, big hole, and he'll have a first down for the BC Lions. Let's go to the sidelines now, and here's Brent.
Well, Bobby Ackles was named president of the BC Lions about a year and a half ago. He was given the task of rebuilding the fan base in Vancouver. How successful do you think you've been?
Well, I feel pretty good about that we have turned the corner. And, you know, this was an exciting year for BC Lions fans. It's not very exciting right now, but there's still a lot to play in this game. But it's a matter of, you know, getting back in the community. And we've been very successful in the community this last 12 or 14 months, and so I feel pretty good that things are starting to come back again.
Any similarities between the situation in Vancouver and the situation here in Toronto?
I think it's quite similar. It's quite similar to what happened in Montreal a few years ago, and you know, it's just a matter of working at it and being a little bit lucky and having the right people to do the job. It's not rocket science.
Congratulations on doing a wonderful job with the Lions.
Thank you very much.
Let's go up now to Chris.
Thank you, Brenda. Bobby Ackles doing a great job at BC. Getting the fans reacquainted with that football team. Nearly 30,000 last week in the final game of the season against Saskatchewan. As they go to Geroy Simon, and for Dave Dickinson, this must be not only painful to watch as he limps, but painful to move around. A knee injury that has kept him out of this football game and hamstrung his football club on offense.
Well, again, the BC Lions are in 2nd and 10. They run a route that's only 5 yards. He's tackled when he catches it. It's just either the receiver has to run a deeper route or they need to call a different play.
Sturgeon Wynn has a better arm than Dave Dickinson, but Dave Dickinson might have the best eyes in the league, and if he can help impart some of that to his backup, it might help here in the second half. On the bounce, 20 miles left to go out of bounds. No return as the Lions continue to keep the ball away from Bashar Livingston. 5 kick return touchdowns this year, and in this game 1 year ago on the punt return reverse, he took it back all the way.
Well, we've seen already what a difference he can make. And again, I'll say it's smart for the BC Lions to kick it away from him. For the one time he gets a chance on that missed field goal, he takes it back and gives the Argos great field position.
They had a 79-yard missed field goal return that, but for a few inches on the sideline, stepping out of bounds, he was gone. Single tight end offense. Oh, and a big tackle up the middle. Ray Jacobs stacking up that run play to Jenkins. Some hot blood. Randy Bowles being shoved after the play as the Argos will lose a yard on that play.
Well, the Argos now, you want to run the ball a little bit. You want to chew some time off the clock, but don't go into a shell and get conservative. Do what you've been doing that's been moving the football. Sprinkle in your play action and throw the football a little bit.
2nd and 11. Complete to Lau Knight across the middle. Jason Bray makes the tackle. Close coverage and a well-thrown ball by Damon Allen. He'll be shy of the first down. The gain is 8.
Oh, no, wrong guy. But Lau Knight is the same exact play that they ran for the touchdown. Bray covered a little bit better this time, and now he makes the tackle just 2 or 3 yards before they get the first down.
Dave Hutton, the umpire, had to do the limbo there to get away from that ball. He was right in the line of fire. So the Argos will punt. As Annunziata and Allen compare notes and get set to regroup. Prefontaine at his own 15. Bertolo will take this one at his own 36. Gets around Hardy, then dragged out of bounds. The Argo punt cover has been superb today. Kevin Ivan in the vicinity again. A 44-yard punt and a 19-yard return. Special teams leading tackler and always present on defense today with some of that edge blitz.
Yeah, Kevin Ivan is just simply a great football player. He makes the special teams tackles, and then he comes off the blitz and puts pressure on the quarterback.
His previous best was 19. This year, 33 to lead the CFL. Some explosive downfield tackles. Kevin Ivan, a big asset, the third-year man out of Bucknell for the Argos. Wynn with time now. He's flushed by Marvin Thomas. Thomas comes after him again. And England will finish him off. Eric England, the sack leader in the CFL. Third today. His game high, 4 sacks.
Yeah, England got the sack, and he had good pressure on the quarterback, but you look at the receivers for the BC Lions, there's nobody open. And when the play breaks down and Spurgeon Wynn starts to scramble, there's nobody getting open for him, trying to scramble or shake their defenders, get open for him. Argos are doing a great job in their secondary of locking down the receivers.
The loss of 6. England gutting it out with that injured turf toe. Wynn stepping up. He'll throw and complete it to Paris Jackson. Inside Clifford Ivory. Jackson diving for more yards. He'll have a gain of 12, but be shy of the first down as the third quarter ends in Toronto.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi, right? Yeah! Well, now I got a Hemi, too. But I got something you don't got. Check this out.
The Dodge Ram 1500. The Hemi legend continues. Grab Dodge's best powertrain warranty ever. And now get 0% financing only at your Chrysler Jeep Dodge retailer.
Jared? What are you doing here? I don't know. Just always wanted to try this place.
There are 2 million possible combinations of delicious ways to feel good about eating at Subway. But we can't please everybody all the time. Maybe we could if they tried our delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki, made fresh with under 6 grams of fat. Subway. Eat fresh.
Catch the action November 16th.
The CFL on CBC, brought to you by Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. The three-quarter pole in Toronto, and the BC Lions in this Western offensive juggernaut grounded today. Geroy Simon with just 2 catches for 7 yards after a season of 1,687 yards through the air.
Yeah, Geroy's he struggled against the Argos both times this year with 40 and 46 yards receiving, but he's also been on a slide in his last 4 games. He hasn't had those big games, so he's kind of not produced as much as he did early in the season.
In 2 games against Toronto, he had 40 and 46 yards receiving. In fact, he had his biggest game as a running back with 3 for 103. That was a shank punt out of bounds, and Curtis Head has had 2 short punts and a missed field goal.
Well, that's what the threat of the return from Livingston will do to you. You're going to kick it out of bounds. Occasionally, you're going to kick it out of bounds too far right. There's the stats after the third quarter, and again, 211 yards passing for Damon Allen. I think that's the big stat because he hasn't thrown for that in a long time. He hasn't thrown over 200 yards.
Don't let him snap the ball. Don't let him snap the ball.
Damon Allen, in fact, has not thrown over 200 yards in almost a month. You got to go back to the Ottawa game, the 13th of October. But in the last 11 games, he's averaged 177 yards passing. He had one of his best games against BC in July, 411 yards and 2 touchdowns. As Wally Buono goes over what looks like his lineup card. But that last punt by Curtis Head, it's just 7 yards to go with a 22-yarder earlier in the third quarter, and he's been struggling trying to keep the ball away from Livingston.
But you look at this football game with the Argos, all the trouble they've gone through this year with ownership, the league taking over the team. They go 9-9. You think they're going to be eliminated right away. They're 14 minutes and 46 seconds away from going to the Eastern Final with Montreal. And you got to give Pinball Clemens a lot of credit for that, for keeping this team together and keep playing hard.
You're darn right about that, as we remind you to get your vote in. The warrior of the game, cbc.ca/CFL. It is amazing that the Argos even made the playoffs with all the injuries, the team losing its ownership, taken over by the CFL. Jenkins up the middle for a handful. Players losing money, losing side deals they had with the previous owner, Sherwood Schwartz. Many of them disgruntled, but here they are. And Michael Jenkins has really carried the mail for this football team. Been a threat out of the backfield through the air. And Michael Clemens was telling us yesterday he'd love it if they never had to throw a pass today, because Jenkins is so versatile. And there's the big touchdown through the air on that blitz. It puts Toronto up 21-7. Pressure now. Allen gets the ball away on the tip. Mike Morreale. Oh, good hands. Baron Simpson got his hands on it, and on the tip drill, Morreale is sure-handed himself.
Well, it's a nice job by Damon Allen, buying time, waiting for Mike to cross the middle. He thinks he has the opening, but Baron Simpson plays it well, tips it, and that's just great concentration. You think the ball's going to end up somewhere, ends up somewhere else, you react and make the play.
Especially with Carl Kidd bearing down. He held on. Allen intercepted by Eric Carter, stepping in front of Jimmy Oliver, and Carter has the ball for the BC Lions. And Damon Allen was rocked as he threw that pass, and it's still down. The Argo starter is prone, and Eric Carter rises up on defense.
We got a situation. What's your 20?
I'm there.
Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a big block Vortec V8 and an Allison transmission? Does it have the most torque of any gas-powered heavy-duty pickup? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Is this a special occasion? Hey, see, hon, they even have a maitre d'. It's our anniversary, and I'm treating the missus to a fancy steak dinner.
Oh, a new steak burger. It's a fine choice.
It's a juicy 5-ounce steak patty, accompanied by succulent bacon and a barbecue sauce demi-glace. Oh, bon appetit. Ooh, fancy schmancy.
The all-new steak burger for a limited time at A&W.
Putting all these together with just one tool will be child's play with the new Mastercraft Maximum Quick Bit Screwdriver. It's got all the bits I need, and its pump action mechanism lets me change them hands-free. No fumbling. And it's simple to reload with other bits. It's just that easy. The Mastercraft Maximum Quick Bit Screwdriver, only $19.99. Or get the Quick Bit Kit with 23 pieces, only $24.99. Another innovative product found only at Canadian Tire stores and online.
Now it's been this kind of a year for Damon Allen, banged up again. As Marcus Brady, the #2 signal caller for the Argos, warms up.
And here's how it happens. There's Jenkins right there. He's going against Bernard Williams. And watch him just bull rush right through him and get pressure on Damon Allen. Just pushes him back, keeps going, gets pressure on Damon. Doesn't look like a big hit, but he may bang the back of his head against the turf, and that could be a concussion. And I'll tell you what happened with the secondary. Eric Carter is just sitting back there peeking, looking at Damon's eyes. So he read his eyes, and he jumped the route, and got a big interception for the BC Lions.
Eric Carter grabbing the first interception of the game from Damon Allen as he goes off. He's had an injured throwing hand. He's had near whiplash after the crash into the TV cart here August 1st against BC. He had an injured elbow on his throwing hand. He's playing with an injured rotator cuff in his left shoulder right now. The 40-year-old has been worse for wear. Spurgeon Wynn, here comes the blitz. He steps up and loses his footing. Marvin Thomas goes down on top for the sack. The Argos continue to fool this young quarterback.
Geez, again, you get Antonio Bonner coming off the edge, creating pressure on Spurgeon Wynn, and they've been doing this all day. The BC Lions just don't have an answer for this defense. They don't have an answer for it.
Well, Rich Stubler's defense can mask so many of its looks. For a young quarterback, getting the right read, it's often a tough challenge. Second down, 17 for Spurgeon Wynn. Throwing across the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted. Bonner got one hand on it. He's already had 2 picks today.
This nickel package for the Argos has been very impressive. They're bringing they're bringing Bonner, they're bringing Ivan a lot. Even when they don't, they drop them off because they have them in a 2nd and 17 situation, so you don't have to blitz them, and they're patient. Just let them complete the balls in front of you, make the tackle, make them punt it away.
Curtis Head, 7-yard punt on his last offering. The Argos put pressure on him, and he tried to angle it. This time the Argos will set up a return. Head angling to the sideline, and again he gets it out successfully in front of Bashar Livingston, and the boos come up from the crowd. They want to see a return as Marcus Brady heads out now at quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts. Damon Allen injured. Brady had a rough start in the last game against Calgary. He was good on 1 of 6 passes, 16.7%, and 1 interception. And Damon Allen had to replace him even though he was hurt. And Allen led the Argos to an ugly 13-12 victory.
Yeah, Damon Allen played great football for 3 quarters and part way into the 4th quarter, except for that 1 pick. Now Brady just has to hold on to 14-point lead.
Dr. Dave Greenberg administering Allen as Michael Jenkins gets the call again on the ground for Toronto. And on the BC bench, Casey Printers is warming up. He spelled Spurgeon Wynn for a series or 2 when he had the hip pointer injury. And now the 3rd string man for BC is getting ready. For the backups into service in droves here today at quarterback on both sides. Allen firing the look in, complete to Tony Miles, breaking a tackle, and there's the 4.3 speed that excites everybody in Toronto. A 23-yard gain and a Toronto first down.
I just love Tony Miles as a football player. He's so fast. And he makes his moves at full speed. There's a lot of fast receivers, but those guys can't make their moves at full speed. Tony Miles makes his moves at full speed.
Oh, and that pass from Brady was right on target at full stride. Argos marching here on offense. First down. In the shotgun, the handoff to Jenkins. Jenkins finds a nice seam, and he'll be close to another first down. That'll keep the clock ticking here in the 4th.
It's a nice misdirection play. They hand it off. Looks like Jenkins is going to the right, and they pull the tackle from the right end and bring him around the left end to lead Jenkins back to the left, and they pick up another first down.
Jenkins now with 88 yards on the ground. Brady. First down again. Play action. No, he'll give it to Randy Bowles. A great fake. And the big fullback Rumbles up the middle for a gain of 9 as we go to Brenda for an update on Damon Allen.
Well, apparently right now the Argos don't think that Damon is suffering from a concussion. They think he could probably go in during the next series, but they say if Marcus Brady is doing fine, moving the ball well, he will stay in the game.
Allen with injured receiver Alfred Jackson. Second down, less than a yard, Toronto. On the ground again, Jenkins. It's rough going as he's nailed right at the line of scrimmage. The Herminator, Herman Smith, in on the tackle for BC.
Up 14, yeah, you have second and maybe less than a yard. To me, it seems like a no-brainer. Kick the field goal, but of course I'm not pinball, so I don't know what he's going to do. But he calls it a timeout at least to take some time and think about it, or at least to get a measurement.
So they'll bring the sticks in to measure this one. And they'll be just shy. Third down. Argos, though, inside the 30-yard line at about the 27 of BC.
With just inches to go, yeah, I agree with pinball. You go for it, quarterback sneak, or give it to Jenkins or Bowles on a quick hit. You should be able to pick up the first down and chew off more time off this clock.
Yeah, a little back a bit more. Yeah.
So the Argos will go on third down, 3rd and inches. They bring in twin tights, and the quarterback will sneak for a first down. Brady's got it, and the Argos will stay on offense, and the clock will keep ticking. I'll tell you what, Damon Allen, a 19-year veteran, banged up all year, and he was telling us the other day, I said, do you share your experience with your backups? Are you helping to groom these guys? And he said, yeah, I mean, it's pointless not to use all of the knowledge I've got and not share it with my teammates. He said, Brady and Bishop, they're trying to move me out of here, he said, but I'm not going to wave the white flag. But all the while, imparting his knowledge. And right now, Brady at the controls for the injured veteran. First down on the ground. Jenkins up the middle, and another big gain. Argos eating up the clock and the yardage, getting closer to the BC end zone. A reminder, right after the East semifinal, we go west to Winnipeg. Neon Green warming up. It's chilly in the west. It's Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. Kahari Jones coming back after that tremendous off-the-bench victory 1 week ago against Edmonton. He'll get the call again tonight. In the shotgun, Michael Jenkins takes the handoff. Look at that work ethic, and another first down. A 4-yard pickup. Toronto moving the sticks and getting closer.
Yeah, they're running the football a lot, except for that one pass to Tony Miles, which just chews up the time of possession. They started on their own 33-yard line with this drive, and they're all the way down to about the 12 or 13-yard line of the BC Lions.
Jenkins hits the century mark on that carry here this afternoon. First down, Argos. Randy Bowles this time, bowling his way up the middle for a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Eric England, the yeoman's effort himself, playing injured. His skills have been compromised by a 30-game football season in the Arena League and now the CFL, but he has fought his way through all of that fatigue and led the league in sacks this year with 14. The BC needs a big stand here on defense, or this game could be put out of reach. Brady, 2nd and 7, rolling right. Here comes the blitz from the backside. Brady throwing across himself. It's complete to Jimmy Oliver. Touchdown, Argonauts. Oh, sweet vindication for Jimmy O.
It's a good job by Marcus Brady and a great play call by the Argonaut offense, because they bring Gray off the edge of the left side, but they make him a non-factor by rolling Brady out to the right. And that buys him some time to find the open receiver. And here's Jimmy Oliver, the guy that just came back to the team. catching the touchdown to put them up 28-7.
He's going to hold on to that football. The point after from Prefontaine is good. And Jimmy Oliver, cut loose with budget cuts in Toronto, comes back to score.
Don't go to the west. Don't come over here. You get no ass.
I'm loving it. As frail as I stand, she still sees a He-Man. I'm loving it. I've had to learn from them. Some of the best sink before they swim. I'm loving it. Minds get blown. My sound echoes and echoes across the globe. I'm loving it. Questions cause fear, but I'll face it. Answers so close I can almost taste it.
McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Whatever game you play,
play safe.
On red. Ready? Break.
Joseph looking for an open receiver. Wiltshire patrols downfield. Max takes a pass, scrambles towards the end zone. Touchdown, Max.
A message from the CFL, the Renegades, and the War Ants.
Play safe.
Imagine one day you realized everyone was imitating you, mimicking your every move, trying to be just like you. Now you know what it must feel like to be the Accord from Honda. Often imitated, never equaled.
Well, a great play call by the Argonauts here. They get pressure from the BC Lions down near the end zone. Jason Bray's going to come off the edge, but Brady's going to roll out to his right to buy some time. So here we go. He buys himself time, gets away from the pressure. Now Oliver can come open. Good throw against his body, and Oliver just crosses the goal line.
It's one of the toughest passes for a quarterback to throw across his body, and it was right on the money. Here's Frank Catolo. Gets a couple of good blocks, and then it gets a shoestring tackle from behind. It's all Toronto here, late going.
Here's the beep.
Where are you? I thought you were making some of your special sandwiches for our picnic.
Tim Hortons' new home-style BLTs.
Oh, wow, BLTs? They look great.
They are my specialty.
The taste of bacon you love when you want it most. Ripe tomatoes, lettuce, and 6 strips of mouth-watering bacon on an oven-fresh bun. Try the BLT combo, just $4.79.
Those BLTs you made were great.
Oh, this cold.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, you don't. You don't have a cold.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're not sneezing or anything.
Well, I was yesterday, but I took Contac.
Contac helps you breathe easier because it helps relieve sneezes due to nasal congestion for up to 12 hours, so you can get on with your day.
Oh, it's cold. I know what you mean.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Contac helps you get on with your day.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Mini Granola Bites. Chewy granola mixed with delicious flavors. Oh, it's so true. But I'm not sure why they call them mini. Because they're huge! Here, look at the size of this baby. Pieces of fruit the size of my nephew's head. Oh, but you can eat a lot or just a little. Who could eat even one of these behemoths? This could feed an army for a year. Oh, hello.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Mini Granola Bites. They're mini, if you're not.
I'm okay.
The heir apparent Marcus Brady is beaming on the Argo sidelines. 2 for 2 passing and a touchdown today as we look at the anatomy of that last scoring drive. A beautiful shot to Tony Miles on the fly, then on the ground. Good mixing of plays. Jenkins calling the mail, and then Jimmy Oliver. Oh, a nice move on the goal line for his first touchdown of the year. He's only played 2 games this year. A big impression here today. Casey Printers is into the game now at quarterback. G. Roy Simon makes the catch, but it's for maybe 2 yards on the play. The Lions down to their 3rd stringer here with 5:32 to go and counting.
Casey Printers looked good when he came into the football game earlier, but the BC Lions just haven't been able to sustain drives. They had one big play for the touchdown, but besides that, they can't put first down together.
Wally Buono has never lost a playoff game on the road. And right now his team trails by 3 touchdowns. Printers with poise, firing it hard and low, intended for Frank Cutolo. As we update your Canadian Tire game notes, here we go. BC.
Offensively, spread the rock around the clock for the BC Lions. They've tried to do that. 6 different receivers with the reception, just hasn't been effective enough. Defensively, don't let the Argos trick and treat. They tried that fake field goal, which worked to perfection, just got called back because the ref thought it was too many men on the field.
3rd down, 8 to go. BC desperate, and they'll go for it. Printers in the shotgun. Ivan off the edge, pressure, he'll step up and run now. Printers with a good move, and he's still going, finally stepping out of touch at the 45, but a big first down. A nimble quarterback with size 15 shoes.
Size 15, what is he, Bozo? Hey, it's a great play by Casey right here. Again, they bring Ivan off the edge, but this time he steps up and avoids it and makes a big play, gets the first down.
Makes a nice move on Kenny Wheaton. And a big first down gain, 19 yards. They're the size 15ers. And Printers trying to rally this team. Standing flat-footed, now there's pressure and he's sacked. Winters from the secondary. And there was no getting away this time. A loss of 7 on the play.
Originally, Casey had time to throw that football, but the Argos secondary, again, locking down the BC receivers, not giving the quarterback an opportunity to throw the football.
5th sack of the day for the Argos. The Lions second last in the league, allowing 53 quarterback sacks this year. Argos with a 3-man front. They'll drop 9. Printers, trouble again. Throwing this time. It's complete to a diving Paris Jackson, lunging for that first down marker at the 35. And it looks like he'll be just shy. Paris Jackson, the 6'3" target out of Utah, a rookie with just 6 catches coming in, but pressed into service because of the injury to Felwell. And injuries at quarterback have thwarted Wally Buono's offense. Dickinson and Spurgeon Wynn out. The 3rd stringer, Printers in. 3:16 and counting in regulation. 3 converted touchdowns, the lead, and a flop pass by Printers, incomplete on the 3rd down gamble. And so the Lions will turn the ball over on downs. 3rd and a yard and a half.
Yeah. You feel bad for Casey Printers because he looks really good out there. He's making plays, moving the team, and then on a big play, 3rd and 1, drops back, trying to convert the first down, and the ball just slips right out of his hand. You know, down 28-7 with 3 minutes left. It's looking pretty good for the Argos at this point.
Yes, and pretty bad for Dave Dickinson and the BC Lions. Only the 2nd BC quarterback to pass for more than 5,000 yards. A promising year in ruins here today in the playoffs with injury upsetting their offense. On the ground is Bulls up the gut for a couple of yards. And at the 3-minute warning, the Argos have a 3-touchdown lead and comfort here in the Eastern Center.
What's one more trophy when you won a bunch? Just one more reason for the Mazda Protege Days celebration. When we win, you win. With 0% purchase financing for 48 months on the top-rated Mazda Protege. And the exhilarating Protege 5. Hurry to the Mazda Protege Days celebration and drive home a winner.
Introducing new Extreme Clean from Aquafresh. It showers your whole mouth with an incredible microactive foam that seeks out bad breath bacteria, leaving a cool tingling that just won't quit. New Extreme Clean. Introducing new Extreme Clean from Aquafresh. It showers your whole mouth with an incredible microactive foam that seeks out bad breath bacteria, leaving a cool tingling that just won't quit. New Extreme Clean from Aquafresh.
Oh, there's frost on the pumpkin out west in Winnipeg, where fans are assembling for the West semifinal. It's the Bombers and Saskatchewan coming right up after the conclusion of the East semifinal in Toronto. Night has fallen in Winnipeg, and the temperature is plunging as well. Good old-fashioned Western football on the prairies still to come on the CFL on CBC. Here in Toronto, the hometown Argos with a brilliant game plan on offense and on defense, and a 21-point lead over the injury-plagued BC Lions. Antonius Bonner with 2 interceptions today. And the Lions hanging their heads, unable to mount an offense. Using all 3 quarterbacks. The backup still in for Toronto. Marcus Brady calling his own signal on 2nd down, and he won't have enough for the 1st down as we check your Toronto Canadian Tire game notes.
And these were bang on the Argos offense. Forget what ails you. Mitchell, Jackson out. Who fills in? Knight and Oliver, 1 TD apiece. Allen banged up, throws for 232 yards. They forgot it. Defensively, make nickel go a long way, and here's where they are really effective in nickel situations with the extra DB. 5 QB sacks, 3 hurries, 2 interceptions, both by Bonner. They did a great job of bringing those guys off the edge in the nickel package.
Once again, you nailed your game notes.
I'm telling you, I'm on fire.
Good job. How about Damon Allen? He's having his best game in 6 weeks. Banged up again, though. Although apparently it's not that serious. Word from the Argo bench. Prefontaine to punt. Hammers this one. And Geroy Simon will pitch it out. Oh, a nice play to Frank Vitolo. But the Argos sniffing that one and stringing it out. Jason Horton, the rookie out of North Carolina A&T, on the roster this week, getting a heads-up play on special teams.
That was not a nice play by Horton, because he has contained there, and the punt was fielded inside of him, and then they throw the lateral to the side, but he still had enough speed and enough awareness to get back outside and make that tackle. That's a great play.
Horton has been around all year, practice roster, and the threadbare Argos in terms of backups because of their financial situation, calling on all hands here in the late going. Printers with time. Outlet pass to Kelvin Anderson. And Horton again with a big tackle on defense this time.
The Argo defense, they're not ranked in the top 3 of all the categories, but they're very good at keeping the ball in front of them, and they have enough speed to come up and make the tackles. And their secondary plays very, very strong.
The last time the Argos and the Lions met in the playoffs, it was the 1983 Grey Cup. Argos prevailing 18-17 in a thriller, and right now they're in complete control here. Printers throwing deep for Geroy Simon, too far and incomplete.
Well, Geroy Simon's another guy that just hasn't been a factor in this football game, and I don't know if it's because Dave Dickinson hasn't played, and I don't think that's the case. I think it's the Argo defense. It's what Stubler has done to confuse the BC Lions, and it's the play of the secondary that's kept Simon in check today.
Well, the Argos enjoying the waning moments of this football game. They'll be heading to the East Final in a rematch with the Montreal Alouettes. Rich Stubler, the architect of this Argo defense. Many faces, many looks have confused the young backups from BC today. Printers again throwing on a 3rd down gamble. It's incomplete. And so the Argos will take over on downs once more with 1:40 to go.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the new Chevy Colorado. 100% pure concentrated truck. Chevy Colorado.
Charles Livingston with some sweet talk on the Argo bench. They're going to Montreal. Try to avenge a 35-18 loss to the Alouettes 1 year ago. And this is how they matched up this year. 2 one-sided games, 1 victory each. Marcus Brady coming off the bench to engineer that big upset in the second last week of the season. Jenkins up the gut, Argos content to run the clock here now. 1:35 to go in the fourth quarter. The BC Lions starting this year 9-3, finishing 4-4 down the stretch. And frustration written all over their faces. A tremendous offensive year ruined by injuries to Dave Dickinson and now Spurgeon Wynn. Frank Buttolo comparing notes with the third stringer Casey Printers. You can see the agitation there.
It's just frustration. Listen, Dave Dickinson, great year, not able to play in the playoffs. That's a big killer for the BC Lions.
Brady throwing complete to Morreale upfield in front of Jason Bray, and a Toronto first down. But how about the Argos? They'll finish this season in the playoffs with the same lineup they started with out of training camp as we revisit 1 year ago. Livingston with the huge punt return, 76 yards for a touchdown that sealed Saskatchewan's fate. Reggie Slack, diving effort, a 24-14 win. Pinball with that inspirational speech to get his team fired up. And they're going back to Montreal with Damon Allen and Marcus Brady at quarterback. Jenkins turns the corner, and he'll have a good gain of 7 on first down. Geroy Simon, what a year he's had. 1,687 yards, more than double his previous personal best. Not a factor today. Wally Buono about to suffer his first playoff defeat on the road, back in the playoffs after missing them 1 year ago in Calgary.
It's a shame, but as for BC, all you remember is your last football game, and today's their last football game where it wipes out great years by Dickinson and Geroy Simon, and a great turnaround by Coach Buono.
Brady with a fake to Jenkins and calling his own number on 2nd and 3. 45 seconds to go, but the Argo team, Wayne Weathers, who came from Winnipeg, Ray Marius, number 36, who still has a year of eligibility in college football out of Mac, and a solid year on special teams this year. All of the players on this team were here in training camp. The Argos didn't have the budget when they lost their owner to go out and shop for guys to replace injured players. There's Kevin Ivan, a real leader on special teams this year and the leading tackler in that department in the CFL. Third down, Argos will hold on to the ball, and they'll have a first down. Damon Allen, the 19-year veteran, turning 40 years of age this year, becoming the all-time leading passer for a career, over 60,000 yards, and he's whooping it up.
Yeah, you see how happy, you saw it in his face yesterday. He wanted this football game.
Just told us he's all right, so he's good to go, it sounds like, for Montreal. And how sweet is this for him? Cut by BC in preseason. They banged him up here, and they ran him into the golf cart, the TV cart, and he's come back to haunt his old team as Brady takes a knee and the clock takes to 0. The Argos upset the BC Lions 28-7 to move on to the East Final against Montreal.
Just looking forward to next week. That's going to be a great showdown for the Eastern Final in Montreal, in the Big O, the place packed. And the Argos, what an amazing season after going through all that turmoil with losing their owner and the league taking over. It just makes for a great story.
9-9 and nip and tuck to make it into the playoffs over Ottawa. Damon Allen coming up big, having his best game in perhaps a month and a half. And at 170 pounds, a small player in this game, and he's managed to overcome injury after injury and get his team to the division final as we join Brenda.
Michael Jenkins ran for more than 100 yards today, and just how important was it for your team to establish that running game?
Man, you know, that was the emphasis this week. We had to establish the run game. You know, it helps our passing game. You see when we need to pass, we got open looks because they got to leave people in the box. And then, you know, the guys up front, I got to tip my hat to them because they played today. It was them, not me.
There were a lot of times this season, I'm sure, when you wondered whether this team would make the playoffs because of all the ownership turmoil. Does it make it that much more sweet, this victory today, because of what you guys went through?
Man, definitely. You know, the adversity, you know, we're not trying to let it affect us. You know, it's hard. It's hard. Not knowing what's going on every day, but this makes it all better. You know, we persevere, and we came out here today, and, you know, we put in a convincing winner.
Congratulations on a wonderful victory today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So next weekend, the Argos travel to Montreal for the East Division final against the defending Grey Cup champions, the Montreal Alouettes.
Dodge SX 2.0. The thrill of 132 horses under your foot.
Mars Bar asks, what are you going to do with your energy?
I'm going to find eternal happiness.
Who you looking at, what?
So, who needs to be, tucked in?
Recharge on Mars!
All tires are not created equal. Here's proof.
So remember, kids, safety first.
And, speaking of safety, how about these Goodyear tires? Yeah, they're the #1 choice in Canada for ambulances. If they can keep this baby safe on the roads, your car will be a snap.
Right.
Oh, boy. Hey, you know your letters are on backwards. Ik man alaba.
A little competition never hurt anyone, except our competition.
You know, it does hurt. A lot.
It's here, our best sale ever on Dodge Caravan. Right now, you can get Canada's favorite minivan for just $21,699, or pay no interest for up to 72 months, but only for a limited time. Visit your neighborhood Chrysler Jeep Dodge retailer today.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Mini Granola Bites. Chewy granola mixed with delicious flavors. Oh, it's so true, but I'm not sure why they call them mini. Because they're huge! Here, look at the size of this baby. Pieces of fruit the size of my nephew's head. Oh, but you can eat a lot or just a little. Who could eat even one of these behemoths? This could feed an army for a year. Oh, hello.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Mini Granola Bites. They're mini, if you're not.
I'm okay. That all you got? Come on, man.
Going down. Yes!
Oh, God.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your deodorant is? Next time, use new Power Stripe from Right Guard. With a stripe of time-released odor fighters no other deodorant's got. Nothing looks like it, nothing works like it. Yes! Yeah. Right Guard, right to the end of the day.
Pinball Clements and the Toronto Argonauts for the second year in a row beat a crossover team from the West. Last year Saskatchewan, today it's the BC Lions, and here is the play of the game in the Eastern semifinal.
Play of the game, brought to you by Subway.
And the play of the game is the Michael Jenkins touchdown pass. It's the pass that made it 21-7. And we're having some technical problems. Here we are back here in Winnipeg. That play of the game is the touchdown pass to Michael Jenkins that made it 21-7. Jenkins not only with a great reception, but a great day running the football. Now let's quickly talk about special teams. Sean Millington, in particular, Bashir Livingston.
Bashir Livingston, we talked about him at the beginning of the game, and once again, he proved why he's the Eastern nominee for special teams outstanding player. I mean, this guy lit it up today. He made some big returns, gave his team good field position at critical points during the game, and furthered their cause.
Lyle Knight, I thought, was an impressive receiver today for the Toronto Argonauts.
He did very well. I mean, he got to the spots that Damon had him getting to, and one of the things that you look at is just Damon, how he directed that offense. He used Jenkins. He threw the ball out to Knight. He was doing a lot of things, just getting things done as far as moving the ball, getting first downs, and keeping everything in what Toronto wanted to do for the full 60 minutes, and he did it. Unfortunately, suffering a little injury at the end, but knowing Damon, he'll be ready for next week.
Now, the Toronto Argonauts, playoff time, the league gave them some money to bring in a new player, and that new player paid off in a big way, Greg.
They had all kinds of injuries. I was talking about this at the beginning of the game, saying Jimmy Oliver's my sleeper player. Here's a guy who's an explosive player, and unfortunately, short end of the stick, but he, he's a great catch, made a nice move on Eric Carter, thought he was going out, cut back into the middle of the field, Brady throws across his body, gets himself motivated. He's got a to make a name for himself into this playoff. So watch out for Jimmy Oliver.
All right, let's look ahead to the final next weekend at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. 60,000 will be in attendance. Argonauts have any chance against the BC Lions, Sean, or against the Montreal Alouettes?
Well, you called it, Brian. You said we're going to see Toronto Argonauts, Saskatchewan Roughrider Grey Cup. And, hey, I might have to get on that bandwagon with you. Toronto's looking pretty good at the moment. And I think they have a great chance to go into Montreal and maybe surprise the defending Grey Cup champions.
Why would you say they have any chance in Montreal, Danny? You've played against both.
Yeah, it's going to hurt me to say this, and with Greg here, and Sean, don't get on me for this, but defense wins games. And that's the thing that I see. I know. I see that happening right now. They're going to be two great defensive teams right now going against each other. Whoever plays the best on that day is going to end up getting into the Grey Cup. And way Toronto is playing right now, Montreal has to come out and play very smart football, and that's why I think they're going to give themselves a chance to win the ball game.
Offense wins games.
No. Listen, on Friday, Pinball Clemens told us they wanted to score 21 points off special teams. Millington said prior to the game, he's crazy. That means your offense stinks if you want to do that. They didn't get 21 points off the special teams, but the offense did score some touchdowns. Greg, can Toronto score against a tremendous Montreal defense?
Well, Toronto did a lot of good things. They established the run, which I was surprised because BC did a really good job of stuffing a very potent rushing team last week against Saskatchewan. And they came out, and Toronto did a very good job of establishing Jenkins early, did a great job in the first quarter, and then they kind of went away from it, and they threw the ball really well in the second quarter. Going into the third quarter, went back to Jenkins. So their game is very complete right now. Jenkins is doing a good job, and the receivers are stepping up. Miles had a great game night, and then Jimmy Oliver stepped in. I mentioned him earlier, and he's doing a great job as well.
Against that Montreal blitzing defense, you need that quick release. Maybe they need the quick release that Danny Mack has, but Damon Allen has played against them before. When they bring everyone Montreal, all you need is that little flip pass to get over the charge, and you can do some real damage. Speaking of Damon Allen, I understand he's standing by in Toronto with Brenda Irving.
Here at the Skydome in Toronto, it's the Toronto Argonauts over the BC Lions. They will now move on to the Eastern Final, and Damon Allen, is this victory any more sweeter because of your history with the opposing team?
You know, first of all, I'm thankful that we won. We came out here and we played a good, solid football team and played a good game. And, yeah, it does make it a little sweet because I played on my former team, and there's a lot of guys on the field that, you know, that I played with for a number of years. But it does make it a little sweet that you're playing your old team, and we beat them.
And you did it without two of your top receivers.
That's true. But, you know, we have a great group. We had a good week of practice, and all along, like I said, I knew we were going to play these guys, and all week long, I knew we were going to beat them too.
How important was it to establish the run today?
I thought we did a great job of mixing up our formations and able to throw and run the ball. But, you know, I thought we did a great job of mixing it up as far as the passing game. And, you know, sometimes we ran, sometimes we passed. And I think we kept them a little bit off balance. And we did speed up the game a little bit. So, you know, we have to go back to the drawing board, clean up some things. And, you know, we pretty much stopped ourselves when we had opportunities to put more points on the board. And, you know, with the fumbles, you know, catches and fumbles, they're unfortunate. But, you know, I'm glad we won.
Congratulations on the victory today. Good luck in Montreal.
All right, thank you.
Now let's head back to Brian.
Thank you, Brenda. Damon Allen will start. He was injured a bit, but nothing serious. He will start next Sunday against the Montreal Alouettes. Let's talk about this game here in Winnipeg. Stadium filling up behind us. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I said it earlier, with only 9 teams. Look, I know Winnipeg was in the East, but with only 9 teams, do the math. What are the odds against it being the first playoff team or game between Winnipeg and Saskatchewan since 1975?
I mean, that is pretty crazy. I mean, I studied math at university, and I got to say, the odds of that seem pretty small to me. So I'll go with you on that one, Brian.
All right, let's talk about this game, and let's begin with the host Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Not one running threat, but 2. And Sean Roberts, I was especially impressed last week with Mike Sellers against Edmonton.
Well, Mike Sellers, I think, is very understated. They don't give him enough credit. Whoa, there they go. They don't give Mike Sellers enough credit for the things that he does. He's really one of those guys who's very versatile. He catches the ball well. He does incredible blocks out of the backfield, and he also runs. I mean, he's a very tough guy to bring down, which I don't think he gets enough recognition for.
Let's talk quarterbacking, Danny McManus. Let's begin with Nealon Green. Earlier, Sean Millington said he's growing up. He seems to mature.
He is. He's doing a great job, and I think a lot of credit also goes to Danny Barrett, putting him in an offense that Nealon is with the empty set. He doesn't have to really do much reading. If the action is not there, he can find little passing lanes to throw the football, or do what he does best, beat you with his feet. Find the little lanes, get upfield, and just keep the chains moving. So from that standpoint, Nealon is in the perfect offense for him to succeed.
I want to talk to Greg about defense, but first let me ask you, the quarterback, about Kahari Jones. Last week, I mean, it's human nature. Look, he wasn't planning to go in the game, so he wasn't ready. In a way, that's a good thing. This week, is it all week to think about the injured ankle in the game?
Oh, yeah. All he's been thinking about is this moment right now on the field. Let's get the first play over with. The butterflies are going. Last week, it was nothing. I mean, it was like, hey, let's get this game over with so I can go and eat somewhere. I got my wristwatch on and watching the time. Right now, he's nervous, so that's human nature. But once he gets out there and plays the game, things are going to be settled down for him.
Greg, a thought on the defense in this game, both Winnipeg and Saskatchewan?
Well, I think for Saskatchewan, they know that Kahari is not mobile, and we don't have a mobile quarterback. You can key on that. The linebackers are going to be able to be a little bit more aggressive. Shante is going to have a two-way go because he's not really too worried about keeping contained because he can't buy himself time. Kahari buy himself time, scrambling, those sorts of things. And so that's an advantage to Saskatchewan. And for Winnipeg, you know, the receivers really impressed me for Saskatchewan last week, and the Saskatchewan receivers against the DBs for Winnipeg is a huge matchup. If Winnipeg's DBs can step up, that's a key for their victory this afternoon.
And don't forget kicking. When you're in Winnipeg with a win, of course, Westwood had, what, a 55-yarder last play of the game to beat Saskatchewan earlier. Paul McCallum will kick for Saskatchewan. Speaking of kickoffs and kicking, Saskatchewan and Winnipeg up next when we return live to Canada Stadium.